Hello guys, in today's video we are going to validate users' age based on selected birth date using the input date picker. So stay with me and see you in a couple of seconds. Here we have a custom validator that we created in a few videos ago. So if you haven't watched these videos, you can go back and pause this one and watch them. Or otherwise, you can just go to the description of this video and download this project from there. So there's a GitHub link. Okay, and now in a source application, we have a user form that we are working on right now. So I'm running this by typing ngs, and then I'm just going to open the form to see in the browser. So here in the form, we are going to add the user age or actually birth date picker here in the below the last name. So let's start with that one first. Okay, using the user form component, we're gonna find the email name, okay, last name, and then I'm just going to copy this from the above. So then we're gonna create birth date. Okay, selecting all of these, birth date, and here date, type date. We're gonna add a date so the date picker appears here. Phone control, birth date, everything is fine, touched. Okay, the birth is required. Okay, birth date is required field. So this is one validator here, and another one is to get birth daters. Okay, then we're gonna add this during the video. So this is the first step. Then when we go back to the browser, we should have the birth date input field here. So as you can see, we can select and we can select the date here. Okay, the next step here is to go to the user form component here and to add the new field here. So in the form builder here, we're gonna add the birth date. Date and just empty string here, validators required for now. So it's saved, and then we're going back to our browser. So we're gonna touch this field and go back, and we can see that birth date is required. Okay. The next step here is to create actually our validator for this birth date, or actually for the age for the age. So go to validator here folder and then right click on it in new file, and then we're gonna call it age validator. Age validator. That validate. Okay. In this age validator, what we have to do? We have to create a function that will get the date and also form control at the same time. And then this validator has to compare the current date and the date birth date, and also to return is it correct or not. And also we have to return the required age to be able to show them on the screen. So let's start with that. So as this is the only function that I'm having here in this file, I'll just add the export default and function, and I'll name this function minimum age validator. So it is going to receive the min age as a parameter that is actually number. So this is something that we are selecting in the form builder when calling this validator. And this minimum age validator is going to return validator function. Fn, and we are importing this from the Angular forms. So validator function here. And opening the square brackets, actually the curly brackets, sorry. And here we're gonna return that validator function. What is validator function? In the previous videos, when we created credit card password validator, phone validator, we had like validator errors actually and null here. So this entire function is actually a validator function. But now, as the is a bit different, we have to get the input property from the validator, and then we have to compare it with the validator function, perform control, and return the validator function actually. So don't be confused. I'm just going to show you how it's going that. So we are receiving the control that is actually abstract control. Okay. And this abstract control is actually returning validation errors or null, as in the previous videos, depending on the result. And then we're gonna, if you like the video so far, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Thank you. Get the date and compare the things here. So this is comparing because we are not returning anything right now. So const birth date equals a new date and control dot value. So this is the date. Birth date is actually we are going to create a new date using the control value. So the input value that we selected here, this is actually going to be our birth date that we will convert into date here. So we'll be able to compare it. Okay. And const age equals new date, but this time it's empty brackets. So that means that we are getting the current date, and from that current date, we'll get the get full year, because this get full year is just gonna return a number. So 2020, actually 2020 or 23, or doesn't matter. So we're getting just the part with the age, and we're gonna remove the past. We're gonna subtract the current birth date here. So the birth date, as we converted it into the date object, we're gonna just get the full year as well. So now we are just getting the subtracting numbers here. So we're getting, for example, 2024 and the year that user selected here. And now return age. If age is greater or equals to min age, that is an input property here, a number, then return null, which means that this validator has validated the field and everything is correct inside of it. So we don't have to return anything, any errors, and so on. But otherwise, we're going to return a validation errors. So in this time, we're not just returning the simple object, but we are returning a nested object here. So are we going to say age too low? So that means age is too low. Then our required age is going to be a minimum age that we added from here. So this is going to return the entire object into the validation errors. And that's it for this validator here. Now we have to implement this validator into our component and also form here. Okay, finding the birth date, we have the validators required, and also we have to add this age validator. So min age validator, and then we're gonna just add 18 here. So that means that the user has to be 18 or greater to be able to register on this page. And also here, when it comes to the validation errors, we have to add another one here. So I'll just duplicate this as you can see here. And now we're getting this from the user. So actually we get the birth date errors, and this time we are looking as age too low. So we're getting for this object here, and if it has it, then we're gonna use this here. We'll say, okay, this entire check here and the object we get as age too low, as I want to use this object and the number to call it inside here, but I would like to get it as this again there. So it is just shortened and to use it as a variable here. So birth date is, okay, we can just say you have to be like, you have to be, and then age too low dot required age. So this is something that we added into our age validator here. So required age, actually inside of the age too low object, we have a required age that is actually mean age that we required into that validator when we called it here. So it could be anything, but we added 18 for now, but we'll test it with lower numbers. Okay, so age too low and hit save, and then we're just gonna test this function here. So a birth date is required, you have to be 18. So 18 or just older to access this site. Okay, and now I'm selecting some date here. So it has you have to be 18 or older to access this site. Now I'm gonna just change the years so we can track this validation, how it's actually working. So from 2016 to 2006, your birth date, you can access this site. So going lower as well, you can see, but 2007 cannot access this site because it's not 18 years or older. So this is it. Then we can just test this a bit and add a different validation here in the component. So I'll just close other ones. And here we can add a user has to be 20 to access the site. So whenever you need to use this validator, you can use it just like by this and edit just the number required here. So go back to test it. Now we said that we are using the 2007. The 2007 was able. 2000 was able to use this validator, but we are requiring 20, so we have to go 2 years. Okay, 2004 can access this site because today is 2024 and 2004 has 20 years. So this is it when it comes to validating user fields, actually in this case a minimum age using the date input field. So if you like the video, please like, share or subscribe, and see you in the next one. See you, bye.